Orange butterflies and aqua sequins ensconced tween slight bosoms, silk roses darting from behind her ear, the passion flower of southwest Los Angeles meandered down Hoover Street, past dark shuttered houses where women from Louisiana shell peas round about 3 o'clock, or sent their sons whistling to the store for fatback and black-eyed peas. She glittered in heat and seemed to be looking for rides when she wasn't, and absolutely eyed every man who wasn't white, lame, or nodding out. She let her thighs slip from her skirt, crossing the street. She slowed to be examined, and she never looked back to smile or acknowledge a sincere, "Hey, hey, mama," or turn to meet the eyes of someone purposely finding something to do in her direction. She was sullen, and the rhinestones etching the corners of her mouth suggested tears, fresh kisses that had done no good. She always wore her stomach out, lined with small iridescent feathers. The hairs round her navel seemed to dance, but she never let on she knew that from behind her waist was aching to be held. The pastel ivy drawn on her shoulders to be brushed with fingers and lips smelling of honey and Jack Daniels. She was hot, a deliberate coquette who never did without what she wanted, and she wanted to be unforgettable, a memory, a wound to any man arrogant enough to want her. She was the wrath of women in windows, fingering shades, old lace curtains, camouflage despair, and stretch marks. So she glittered, honestly delighted she was desired, and would allow those especially scheming, tactful suitors to experience her body and spirit, tearing, so easily blending with theirs, and they were happy, and lay on her lined sheets, full and wet from her tongue. She would kiss them reverently, even ankles, edges of beards. At 4:30 a.m. she rose, moving the arms and legs that trapped her. She sighed, affirming the sculptured man, and made herself a bath of dark musk oil, Egyptian crystals, and Florida water to remove his smell, to wash away the glitter, to watch the butterflies melt into the suds and the rhinestones fall beneath her buttocks like smooth pebbles on a Missouri creek. Laying in water, she became herself, ordinary, brown braided woman with big legs and full lips, regular. Seriously intending to finish her night's work, she quickly walked over to her guest, straddled on her pillows, and began. "You'll have to go now. I have a lot of work to do, and I can't with a man around. Here are your pants. There's coffee on the stove. It's been very nice, but I can't see you again. You got what you came for, didn't you?" And he would either mumble curses about crazy bitches or sit dumbfounded while she repeated, "I couldn't possibly wake up with a strange man in my bed. Why don't you go home?" She could have been slapped upside the head, verbally challenged, but she never was. And the ones who fell prey to the dazzle of hips painted with orange blossoms and magnolia-scented wrists had wanted no more than to lay between her sparkling thighs. And they had planned on leaving before dawn. And she had been so divine, so devastatingly bizarre, the way her mouth fit round, and now she stood there, a regular colored girl, full of the same malice, livid indifference as a sister warned from supporting a would-be horn player or waiting by the window, and they knew and left in a hurry. She would gather her tinsels and jewels from the tub and laugh gaily or vengeful. She stored her silk roses by her bed, and when she finished writing the account of her exploit in a diary embroidered with lilies and moonstones, she placed the rose behind her ear and cried herself to sleep.